Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2013 Coachman Cross Country Motorhome, we're going to be checking out the Blue Ox Avail tow bar. Before we jump right in and start talking about the tow bar, I figured it'd be beneficial just to kind of refresh ourselves on the main parts that we're going to need to flat tow a vehicle down the road in the first place. And the first component will be a base plate. That's going to provide us with a solid and reliable connection point. That way we can hook the tow bar up. Tow bar is going to be the side component. That's going to actually be the physical link that connects the front of your vehicle to the back of your motorhome. Third main part will be safety cables, and these are just there in the event of an unlikely disconnect. They're to keep everything paired together. The fourth main part will be tow bar wiring, and what this is going to do is transfer the lighting functions from the back of your RV to the back of your vehicle, keeping you safe and legal. And last but not least, the fifth main component will be a supplemental braking system. What that's going to do is apply the brakes in your towed vehicle whenever you hit the brakes in your coach, bringing you to a more predictable and safe stop. When it comes to picking out a tow bar, you know, it's an important decision. This is responsible for a lot of the work. So you want something that is quality and it's going to be easy to use. And honestly, I feel like this one kind of checks all those boxes, being how simple it is to hook up and things like that. And you know, you want something that's going to pull your vehicle well. So, you know, how well is the vehicle going to track? And this one being relatively long, I feel like it should do a good job of that. You know, generally speaking, a little bit more distance between the two vehicles, the better. And with that said too, this one's pretty heavy duty. It's got a 10,000 pound maximum weight capacity, right? So I feel like even just when it comes to hitting potholes and bumps and things like that, this one's probably going to absorb some of that shock and force a little bit better, keeping your vehicle straight behind you and keeping it a little more true. With all that said, you know, one thing I always suggest when picking out a tow bar is that you get something that's non-binding, whether it's this one or a different one, whatever the case may be. The non-binding feature is really important. And this one has that feature. And so what it's going to do, whenever you're pulling your vehicle behind the motorhome and the arms lock into place, and then you get to, you know, your destination, let's say it's a campsite, and you go to unhook and the ends are super tight and you can't hardly get them apart, that's because it's in a bind. If that happens, all you're going to have to do is push down on these levers here. That's going to release that tension and make it really easy to take apart. And that's not the case with all tow bars. You know, there are some binding type tow bars. And with those, if that happens, it's a big pain. Usually you have a special tool that you'll have to get out, or some people have a hammer and they beat on these little knobs, and it's just not very user-friendly. So like I said, whether you go with this tow bar or a different one, my recommendation would be to make sure it is a non-binding type. Something I do like about this one is they do give you safety cables with it, so it's well nothing you have to worry about picking up separately. You know, either they're the right length, the right weight capacity, and right type. So one less thing to worry about there. I want to mention too, if you're setting up a new deal here and you get your tow bar wiring, make sure you get a kit that has a coiled cable, and this is the appropriate type of cable to work with this style of tow bar. So just wanted to mention that. But you know, overall, at the end of the day, it's a nice, reliable tow bar. You know, it looks pretty good. It's well built. Really don't have any complaints with it from my experience. I know a lot of other people don't. So kind of just a good all-around fit. As we all know, when you're flat towing and everything, storage is really important. You like to have more than enough as opposed to the other way around. And so with this tow bar, you can actually store it on the back of your motorhome. So when you're unhooked, you can fold the arms together and swing it down to the side. And you can leave it back here temporarily or permanently. Whatever you choose is fine. I will say, especially if you plan on leaving it back here a lot, probably not a bad idea to pick up a cover like this one here. It'll go over everything, just kind of help keep the weather off of it, as well as a locking hitch pin. That way it's secured to the hitch on the motorhome and no one can just come up, pull the pin out, and run off with it. When you are ready to hook up your tow bar, it's going to be easy. It simply just kind of goes around the base plate tab. Then you just put a pin and clip through it, so really not a whole lot to it. This is going to work with most Blue Ox base plates, and I believe there's some other attachments now that other manufacturers have that allow these to pair up together as well. So if that's your case, it's something to look into. And since it does come with these safety cables, they have large clasps on them, but not so big that you shouldn't have any issues being able to hook them up to your towed vehicle. And that'll finish up our look at of the Blue Ox Avail tow bar on our 2013 Coachman Cross Country Motorhome.